Good morning, Mount Vernon. This is the Real Estate Committee meeting. It is November 21st, 2025. The time right now is at 9:37 a.m. I'm going to call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Nicole Martin,
Present.
President Warren,
Present.
City Vice President Brian.
Here.
Next agenda item, we normally would have the minutes to be approved. I'm understanding from the secretary that those are not ready as of yet. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, so we need to make sure that for the December meeting, that we'll have those so we can get those adopted and prepared and posted.
Both October and November for the December meeting.
It'll be October and November, yeah. Okay. Moving on, correspondence.
Mr. Omar Bather emailed a proposal to purchase city-owned properties. A response email was sent to him explaining that February 2025 was the deadline for all bids to be accepted. Ms. Andrea DeRizio emailed a request for property bid information that has been sent out to her. Mr. McCall from Bedrock emailed request for property bid information that has also been sent out to him. That is it for this period.
Okay. Correspondence, are there any, that was the correspondence. Moving into public comment period. We have 3 individuals in-house. So, lady and gentlemen, it's the opportunity
Thank you so
if you
much.
wish to speak. Mhm.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm here to ask questions about 321 South First Avenue. I see it's here to vote today to award the bid to somebody else. Just want to know, like, this bid of 200,000, this is a backup bid, or was this a new bid?
So
Okay, we'll answer your question. Continue. Mhm.
And if so, because my bid was different from what was awarded, which was 305. And I think you have the notes of what my bid is, but I just want to know, like, if this is a new bid or you guys went to the next highest after mine.
Okay, answer that question. That's it? Okay. Ma'am?
Good morning. I'm here just to gain some knowledge and hopefully that's a good sign for me. I'm gonna gain some knowledge and then also understand about these bids that I'm seeing. I went online and was reading some of the minutes, and so just to get some information in terms of which one's fathers.
What is your name?
Okay.
My name is Ms. Stewart.
Thanks. Okay, just for clarity, a little bit more, I guess, clarity on, you said information, specifically what?
So I'm looking on here and I'm seeing properties and I see next to it residential house, vote for auction. And so just wanted to
The process was?
yes,
Okay,
and see how I can get involved with what's on this list.
not a problem.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Wonderful. My name is Lucian Brooks. Yes, I came last week and I inquired of Mr. Tron downstairs regarding a property that's right here in the corner. It's 204 South Fifth Avenue, I believe. It's an abandoned building. It's been locked up for a period of time. So when I inquired of him, he told me that it's actually a city property. So I would have to find out at this meeting if the city is open to selling it. I did get a printout of, I guess, I don't know if it's what the land is worth. So I just wanted to actually find out about this property, if it's up for sale, and to gain more knowledge as to the other properties that are going to be going up for auction, and just to see how the process, just to get more details on it. So that's the reason why I'm here today.
Thank you. Is there anyone online who has any comments or questions? No? Okay. All right, so let's start off with the very beginning. The bid related to 328 South First Avenue, right? That is the one as we stated in the previous meetings, there are no new bids. So it's only based upon the bids that already have been submitted. All right, so this is the next highest bid, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Just for clarity purposes, right? In the last meeting, Mr. Nishi said that, there was an error that his bid amount was not 305, that it was
Correct.
138. So because of that, we rescinded the recommendation of
Correct.
the city council. And we then went on to the next highest bid in there. So I just wanted clarity around that, right? So per Mr. Nishi, his, bid was not 305.
Okay, right. And so therefore, the answer to that question is that then we went to the next highest bid that was already in the process. So we had already closed the process and said we were not taking any new bids on the process, on those. Okay. All right. And then, so as it pertains to the process, so a few years ago, we once we got kind of the listing of what the properties that we did have that belonged to the city, it took quite some time for us to actually get a full understanding of what had happened with those properties and how we acquired them. And then also there were some changes in the law that also we had to investigate to find out, because previous to that, that there was the city, if they foreclosed on it and they sold it for whatever it actually sold it for, the city was able to actually keep the revenue from that. There was a new law that changed that where now requires the city that anything that they acquire, that they can actually take the value of the debt that is owed, but the rest of it has to actually be put in escrow and turned over to the courts to make available to the owner, to the owner. In other words, they are entitled to their equity kind of in the process. In addition to that, there were some challenges with also the title searches. And then we had finally come to the decision that there's properties that we have, because they've had them for such a long time, that we were going to sell them as is. And if there's any title issues, that had to be worked out with the purchaser on that. And so in having made those decisions, the bids that actually had been submitted, we then went through the bids. We got all the verifications to make sure they had all of the information, such as making sure that they also verified that they had the money available for the purchases of the property. And then based upon that, we selected the highest, the bidder on the property who had completed all of the requirements of it, right, on it. Any other properties that we had, we made a decision that we would then now begin to move towards a public auction, right, on those. And so anything that was not on that list, that was not considered in the first tranche of those properties, are now items in which we're looking at to go that we're looking at that will then be in a public auction. The public auction date has not been set. And once we do set a public auction date, then the listing of those properties will be made available to the public, and then folks will be able to come in and make their bids upon those. Other than there was still a few that was in that first tranche that we had to get some verifications and clarifications on, and so those may be the few that you'll hear us kind of talk about now as it pertains to the previous bids that had already been submitted, right? So for those who are interested in properties that the city owns, basically what you're doing now, we're not accepting what they call private bids any longer on this. At this point, we are basically compiling that list together, determining which are going to be a part of the first public auction, or if there's some reason why they have to be put onto a subsequent auction, but it will be a public auction unless this body decides in future meetings to then start to accept private bids. If that is the case, again, it will be published to everyone to say we are now accepting for private bids with all of the requirements that they will need to actually fulfill, the time, the deadlines, and everything else of that sort. Okay. All right. So that's basically the process. Okay. I'll let you have one question because once we just do that, we don't go back. But yes, ma'am. That's okay.
Talked about this first tranche of bids. Now, how was that made public, or how were people made aware of those? Because I'm not.
It, maybe you actually missed that because that actually was done several times all throughout for pretty much again, it was done earlier on. So it was done starting in 2023. We posted it on the website. We sent out emails, a part of our email, communication. We also posted it up here. And so that was made available to the public in a number of ways, right? And it was a listing of them. And with even the details of how they would be able to submit their bids, primarily either through what we have as OpenGov to submit the bids, or two, to come in and to submit it in hard copy to the clerk's office. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. That is the public meeting. So you came in late. Public
Sorry, but
comment period actually we were ready to finish it, but because you came in late, did you have a comment or a question?
I appreciate the opportunity you guys gave me to attend this meeting. I had made offers on 4 of the properties city owns. The information was actually very helpful you just provided. I really appreciate them. I have a question that is probably have been answered during the time I had delay. But is there a way we can get a counter offer from our offers? So let's say as a seller, let's say you don't want X amount of dollar, but you do expect this. Just as an example, the seller says, okay, you offer me 300,000. I want 350,000 for my property. Do we have that option in this type of sales, or we don't have that option?
No, sir. No, we actually are not negotiating bids.
Right.
At the time when people submit the bids in, we then evaluate them based upon the criteria, and then we make the award. If for some reason we do award it to someone, like in some cases, based upon them being at the highest bid, and for some reason either they don't fulfill the requirements of putting in the deposit, or they decide they don't want to actually do it, or the city decides that the city's going to take the property back, right? Then at that point, either one, we're going to the next highest bid that was already in the process, or two, the city is then taking it for municipal use, or may put it back onto the open auction market. Okay.
10 seconds, may I?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Are you finished, sir?
I guess so. And so how do I know that my offer was rejected or accepted?
You should have gotten communication from, if not, the secretary will talk with you after the meeting.
Okay.
Okay? Yes, sir.
Now, $200,000 bid, he has time to close, and if he or she does not close, do I come back in the picture?
No, sir. No, sir. At that point, the previous meeting, you said that your bid was not, that the $325 was not your bid. At that point, we went to the next highest bidder. So at that point, the city will make a decision. Probably if he does not, the city will put that property back in as for public auction, because we're probably not going to take anything lower than that now at this point. So that's what would happen. The next step will be that it will then be put back into the pool for it to be a part of the public auction. And then you'll have opportunity at the public auction to bid on it.
Which is different what you see from other towns, but I get it.
Maybe, yeah, but each town operates its own in accordance to its own charter. Okay. And so that's it. But those are the rules that we had set up previously. And so therefore we're not going to abandon the rules, because what we're going to have, if we do that, is somebody else who's going to come in and say that we then now unfairly decided to do something for somebody else, as opposed to we are sticking straight to the rules that we set out, that we put in writing, so that it's fair for everyone. That's how we're proceeding. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank
you very much. Okay.
May I just add, so for those who are watching on Zoom potentially, so I want to reiterate what Sharon said, right? There is no chance to negotiate. If you submitted a bid and you are awarded the bid, that is the amount that you can move forward with. If not, you don't get a second chance at renegotiating. So you can't say, I looked at the property and I now want to lower my bid. We will not accept it. We will rescind the offer. And then either move it to public auction, as the comptroller said, or go to the next highest bidder if it's viable. So I just want to make sure that's very clear for everyone, that there is no negotiation once our attorney sends out a contract.
Yeah, and I think it's clear, and right, and as the person said, like, the reality of it is that one, we're trying to be as very transparent as we possibly can and fair in the process. And what we don't want is folks then saying to us that now we have not been transparent, nor have we not been fair. We set out the rules in the very beginning. I believe that it was very clear about what the process was. And so therefore, once somebody now does not comply with that, we have to go to the next bidder, right? And if that doesn't work out, we have to make a decision on if the next bid after that still meets our qualification for us to sell it. If it doesn't, then it goes back into the pool for us now to then take it out to public auction. Simple as that, right? No, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot have back and forth debate. At this point, sorry, sir. Thank you. Okay, anything? So that's the process for it. We've not abandoned that process, right? We're not trying to be unfair to anybody. But the reality is that we have to stick to the rules that we have set for this, okay? So, anything else?
No, but Ms. Pam, if you want to stick around after the meeting, we can talk about the properties you put a bid on and who was awarded those bids, but we wouldn't be able to do it right now.
Right,
Okay, no problem. And is there any way we
More questions?
thank you.
Is it that we exit?
Yes,
No.
you
Hey,
can stay. You don't have to go. No, this is, right.
It's the first time I've ever.
No. I'm not, no, this is a public meeting. The only problem is that the way the meetings are structured, right, is that you open up the meeting, we have the correspondence of the meeting, and then we give an opportunity for public comment. At the public comment period is when we individuals have the opportunity to say whatever it is that they need to say to the board. We then end with that, and then the board responds back to the questions on it. Anything else after that would have to be something that happens later on, which is why particularly if it's specific to bids that someone may have made and did not get it, and you want to find out some other information, then that's an offline conversation, right? But now, anybody, as you heard earlier, where we have two individuals, right, asked for the bid information. So we sent it to them because it's public information. We're not hiding anything from anybody, right? Here are all of the bids. Here's what the actual bids amounts were. Here's who actually fulfilled the requirements, had all of the requirements. Because again, somebody may have had a higher bid, but did not complete everything. We can't do anything with that. You have to have fulfilled the requirements in order for us to even look at it. Right? In that time frame. And they were given, and in this case, they were given ample opportunity to do that. The secretary sent at least 2, if maybe 3 notices to them to make sure that they got everything in before we closed it. So I just want to make sure that we're clear, because oftentimes there's this conversation around not being transparent or fair in government. We absolutely have been transparent and fair in this process. And we've been deliberate about how to do it so we can get to this place.
You've been more than that, sir.
So,
You've
thank you.
clarified it a whole lot. I do appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, moving on to old and new business, following up on phase 1 properties. Okay. So 146 South 13th Avenue.
yes, so that was the property, there was a discrepancy, but we were able to clear it up at the last meeting. So because of that, I would like to make a recommendation to City Council to sell the property at 146 South 13th Avenue to Ms. Jeanette Garcia for $200,000.
And I second it.
Okay, it's been probably moved to second. Roll call. Aye.
Cecil Vanderpool.
Aye.
City Council President.
Right, so we'll need a referral letter to get that to City Council for next week's meeting.
Next is, for next week's meeting. Next is 128 South First.
I'm sorry, say that again.
328. 328 South First.
Yes, so Comptroller, this is the property that, there was a error in the bid amount. So we rescinded this, offer or this recommendation to the council, and now we're gonna move forward with, I would like to move to recommend to the city council to sell the property at 328 South First Avenue to Mr. Alonzo Webb for $200,000.
And I second it.
So probably moving second, roll call.
Paul Martin,
Aye.
Assessor Bamber.
Aye.
City Council President Brown.
Aye.
Okay,
Comptroller, I'm not sure that we actually need to vote for these other three to move on to auction. They're ready.
They're already motionless.
right, yeah, the question is, so what was the situation with the 141 West Third Street? Did they ever?
We were supposed to get, they were conducting their due diligence, doing an appraisal. We haven't heard from them.
Okay.
And it's been well over the time period that they said they needed, so.
Okay.
So I make a
We gave them
suggestion, we
the,
put it to.
we gave them the we gave them the deadline. They didn't meet it. That's it. That's not it. Okay. All right, contract update law, but before we move there, there's one other property that I need for, the secretary to look into. And it's on First Avenue. What's the, I can't remember what it's a small section of land, but it's right next to an owner who originally had a bid a while ago.
Lane?
Mm-mm.
No, okay.
Originally had a bid on, Fulton Avenue, the Fulton Avenue one that we
Oh, yeah.
got rid of.
Mr. Wow.
And he actually had a deposit in on that property itself, right? But remember, we declared that property as being an emergency and getting it out. So his request, because it's abutting to him, and it is it's if you put a house in there, they're gonna be on top of each other, right? So his request was to sell the property to him. He came down and so he was right. And I forget his name.
Yes, yes.
But he called the office the other day and I said to him that I was gonna follow up to see what we had on that property. So
Yeah.
I
And he
think
put a deposit down.
needed, right, on the other one, but it's one of those that meets the criteria of us talking to the
It's a budding, yeah.
abutting property to see if they would take it. And then-
454 South.
Yes.
Yes,
That's it. 'Cause he owns 456.
yes, 454.
Yes.
So we can look into that for the next meeting and we'll come back with a recommendation on it, but I wanted to kind of make sure that,
Do we know the property owner's name? Is it William Henry?
it might be, yeah,
Okay.
might be. I'll go back and look on it though. Okay,
Yes, yes, that's it, Mr. Henry. He lives
Okay.
in White. Yes, that's
The person who owns, wants to purchase it, lives where?
he.
right next door. It's 150, it's 456, I think. Right,
Okay. Sounds good.
okay. Contract update from the law department. That's on the ones that we did. So,
Okay. All right, so we had a list of 7 properties. All 7 contracts were sent out the week of November 4th to attorneys with the 25% deposit requirement and 15 days to get back to us.
we send out when?
Week of the 5th.
Okay,
Oh, 4th.
okay.
So I have a status update. So let me go through them one by one. So 224 North 7th, which is the Ibarras.
Mhm.
They signed the contract and we have the 25% down payment. The attorney also sent me a title report, so we're going and reviewing that to see if we're ready to close in the next week or two.
Mhm.
The next one is 331 South Second, which is Mr. Nicky,
What you said, 331?
331 South Second. That's the 115,000.
Mm-hmm.
So he signed contracts yesterday and brought the deposit. Mayor and Corporation Council signs off on that contract. They'll bring it down to the controller's office to deposit the down payment. He has also sent title on that, so I have to review that. Next one is 234 East Fifth Street. This is Sheldon Sharp. I've been going back and forth with their attorney. The last correspondence, their attorney asked if they can inspect the property. I said the city does not allow inspection. So if they want to sign, we need a signature by Monday or Tuesday. Otherwise, I'll let you know, and then we can just move on.
Okay,
All right, so the next one is 16 Glen. That's a similar situation, Shane Black for 300,000. His attorney again asked if they can inspect the property. I said the city does not allow that. You want to sign, you have to sign by Monday or Tuesday, otherwise we
I
can.
guess they didn't get the memo that it's as is.
As is.
I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know how much
The
clearer we
contract
could have
says-
made this to them, that this is not how this works, but.
No, I know,
okay.
it's not the first time, it's not the second or the 10th or the 20th.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then 106 Hillside, which is Jeanette Garcia for 500,000. I was just told that she switched attorneys and that they would be signing by Tuesday of next week and bringing the deposit.
Okay.
The last two were 328 South First Avenue, which we went over because that was a counter offer.
mhm.
And then we have 467 East Fifth, which was Donnie McTaggart, who also gave a counter. So I think we're also trying to figure out who the next bidder, the next successful bidder was.
We gonna have to resend.
Yeah, and I think just as a general policy from the committee, I know 'cause it leaves you in a tough spot because you have to bring that back to us. But if we can decide as a committee that we are not accepting counter offers, they either accept it as is, and then Joyce lets us, Ms. Brown lets us know whether or not they've accepted. If they make a counter offer, Joyce has permission to go ahead and tell them we're gonna move on to the next highest bidder or put it on auction.
Yeah, no, there is no counter offers.
No counter.
There's no need for us to even have a discussion. We clearly laid out what the process was. So the
Yeah.
response from the law department is that you need to let us know, are you taking the property or not? And you have to tell this date to do so. And if they don't, then you'll come back and report that they have not met it. We'll rescind it and we'll move on to the next one. There's no counters.
All right, no problem. I think that's all 7 properties from the.
And if we can have that, Joyce, if you can follow up with that, 467 East Fifth, we
Yep.
can know by Tuesday.
Okay,
If not, then we'll move forward with that.
okay.
Thank you.
And that's one of those properties that we absolutely want to try to get.
Yeah.
To try to get resolved because there's an occupant
Yes.
that's in there that we
Yes.
don't want that liability. So we
Especially-
definitely want that one
Mhm.
off of our books.
Okay,
Okay,
understood. So.
All right. okay. All right, auction date for 2026. So,
Your department has the heavy lift with preparing and gathering all of the data. Matt control.
While you're thinking, I see you have your thinking cap on. It's 2025.
I'm still trying to get through 2025. I'm
2025.
trying to make sure that we survive this one. This is rough.
Do. I mean, how many? What we got?
I'm thinking that at best it's gonna be sometime in February. Cause January is gonna be crazy. With first of all that's happening, there's a bunch of, I guess, changes in leadership, installations or inaugurations and all of that.
And that's full
there's-
tax period too.
And then it's also the
Collection of
beginning of collection of taxes. So I would think we're gonna look at sometime in February. So,
The third week in February. Yeah, so we have
President's
2
Day, and President's Day is on the 16th.
Well, the 16th, or maybe the last, maybe the third, maybe the 26th.
Not involved in the date for 2026. Sorry.
I'm gonna turn my shoulder this way to you.
Nobody paying no attention to that.
Turning turning to you.
No one's paying.
I'm gonna turn this
No
way.
one's paying any attention to that.
Turn.
I'm gonna turn this way.
May the odds be forever in your favor.
Thank you. Thursday, or you want to do it on I think a Thursday, Wednesday.
I may not be involved in 2026. They keep on messing with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 26th or the 19th is fine, either one. I mean, the 26th. That'll be the day before our meeting anyway. So,
I think that might be. Well, you
or maybe we might need some time for our meeting.
Yeah, maybe
So
the 19th.
19th. So that you can have a report.
So,
19.
So the 19th.
See, I'm helping you out.
Thank you,
anyway.
Need be, we'll send them over there to the courthouse for you. Okay. City auction, I'll put that in my calendar here, city auction. Okay, and then we'll have to work to kind of get that prepared. And, can you do me a favor, Antoinette, can you ask, Pat to reserve the council chambers for that day?
What day is it, Thursday?
It's a Thursday. Okay, I can't send Danielle Brown a calendar invite because
No, please no.
I should though, anyway.
It'll come back declined.
The giggles, let's do it.
Okay. Is there anything else?
No, just on the record, right, because I just received correspondence and it appears to be some confusion. So there is no rule, that we have that says if the first bidder doesn't want it, that the second bidder then gets it. And if they don't want it, then it goes back to auction. So I want to make it very clear what happens in this process. First of all, the city has a level, a upset level, is what we call it. There's a certain price point that we are not willing to go underneath, right? And if the subsequent bids do not meet that threshold, that is when the decision to go to auction is being made, right? So it's not based on how many bidders are as you go down the line. It's based on what makes financial sense for the city. That is how the decisions are being made around this. So I received some correspondence that there was some confusion on whether it goes to the first bidder, the second bidder, and then the third bidder, but it's based on what the bid amounts are. Some people, for example, put in $1 bids. The city is not in a position to offer a $1 bid to anyone, right? So if that was the third bid or if that was the second bid, then that property would likely go to auction. So I just wanted to clarify that for those watching and for those in the room interested in the properties.
Okay, thank you. I thought I had made that clear, but
Yeah.
obviously
I literally just got correspondence about that, so.
yeah, no, right. The bottom line is, right, to your point, the bottom line is that we cannot go underneath a particular threshold of one. Well, one, it's our responsibility technically to get as close to market value as possible. That's number one. Number two is that we absolutely cannot go below what it is that actually this is owed on the property itself, right? Because the taxpayers would have already kind of paid for that. We need to bring that money back in. So,
I thought we made that very clear.
I thought so too,
too,
but I want to reiterate.
All right, all right. If not, then is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
One more.
I do.
Okay, so Bob moved the second. Roll call.
Controller Martin,
Aye.
Council Brandon.
Aye.
Council President.
Aye for my second to last time.
Thank you all so very much for this meeting. It now closes the real estate committee meeting. Thank